I used to think happiness in gaming came from upgrades, but it turns out it comes from putting down the upgrades. The tech world is always shouting at us. More power, more resolution, more frames. It's a non-stop treadmill. And for the longest time, I was jogging right along with everyone else. I watched every new handheld announcement, read every leak, and scoured the internet for any rumors of the Steam Deck 2. Heck, I even bought the Ally X. Because clearly that was the one that was gonna change everything. Right? Spoiler, it didn't. I was convinced I needed more. More pixels, more frames, more reasons to pretend that my backlog wasn't judging me silently in the corner of my library. Get out of here. Go. What? But then, during a late night Bellatra session before bed, it hit me. Like getting dealt an 11 and the house shows a 7 and an ace. There was no escaping it. The realization that this little device was already perfect. Perfect for me. I didn't need to spend another $1,000 to have fun. I just needed to enjoy what I already had. I had to stop treating gaming like a tech arms race and start treating it like, well, gaming. Sometimes happiness doesn't come from chasing the next big thing. Sometimes it comes from realizing that you're already holding it. This isn't just another review. I want you to think of it as an intervention. I'm here to tell you to step off the upgrade treadmill. Stop chasing specs and reclaim your appreciation, because the Steam Deck OLED has found something that more powerful and expensive devices are still searching for. Now, we all know that the tech space is designed to make us feel perpetually dissatisfied. You unbox your shiny new handheld, download a few games, have a perfect day together. Heck, you even kiss it goodnight, like a weirdo. And then right before bed, you open TikTok, and there it is. Bigger, better, more muscular. No, not a gym bro. A new handheld. In an instant, your mind's happiness gets hijacked and replaced with insecurity. Especially right now, the handheld market is on fire. Devices like the Xbox Ally X, the Lenovo Legion Go 2, and a dozen others are constantly pushing the limits with more power, higher resolutions, more teraflops, and the promise of running AAA games at settings that the Steam Deck OLED could only dream of. And it's tempting. It's really tempting. We see benchmarks with bigger numbers and feel that little pang of envy in the pit of our stomach. Or maybe that's just the butter chicken I had last night.
No, God!
Either way, the effect's the same. A game stutters for a split second on our deck, and suddenly our brain whispers, maybe that new handheld wouldn't do that. It's a sickness, this constant craving for more. A cheater's mindset that values potential over actual experience. Numbers on a chart over the actual feeling of playing the game. I was trapped in that loop. I'd look at my Steam Deck OLED, a device I genuinely love and use every day, and I'd start seeing it as aging hardware. I'd compare the modest 15-watt APU to the 30-watt monsters on Windows devices, and I felt like I was falling behind, like the industry was moving on without me and my little old Steam Deck. So I caved. I got the Xbox Ally X, and while I don't regret it, it's a fantastic device. I realized something. It's a siren song. You think you're chasing new horizons, but you're washing up on the same beach. Because in the end, I'm having the same amount of fun. Sure, 1080p is awesome. The form factor is amazing, and if I'm going out somewhere, I'll probably reach for my Ally rather than my deck. But I wouldn't be any less happy with the deck. And look, as someone who creates content, I want to bring you the best and latest opinions of new handhelds. That's why I buy them. But when the camera's off, I'm just like you. I like video games, handhelds, and junk food. I go to Starbucks and order something with way too much sugar and play Baldur's Gate 3 while my girlfriend does homework. And honestly, that's really all I need. My realization came when I stopped obsessing over what the Steam Deck OLED couldn't do, and I started focusing on what it does better than anything else. It's not one thing, it's how every single part of this device comes together and brings you an experience that's better than the sum of its parts. First, let's talk about the absolute magic of SteamOS. The sleep and resume function is, well, you probably already know this at this point, life-changing. Being deep in a Hades 2 run, tapping the power button, tossing the deck in its case, and then hours or even days later, tapping it again and being right in your game in 3 seconds flat. That's wild. It's like heating up pizza rolls, putting them in your pocket, And then when you're hungry, they're still warm. That's the kind of sorcery we're dealing with here. That one feature completely changes how, where, and what you play. It turns all those little scraps of time, waiting rooms, commutes, post-food dinner comas into gaming opportunities. And it's not just me saying that. Parents, students, athletes, tons of people in my comments tell me the same thing. For the first time, their gaming time feels given, not borrowed. And that's the best part. There's no give and take with the Steam Deck. It's simply just yours. And then there's that window into your worlds, that OLED screen. Oh gosh, that screen. You can talk specs all day. 7.4 HDR OLED display, 90 Hz refresh rate, 1000 nit brightness. Those perfect inky blacks. But the spec sheet doesn't capture the feeling. The feeling of booting up a game that you've played for hours on desktop. Valheim, Terraria, whatever your comfort food is, and seeing it like it's brand new again. The OLED makes colors pop in a way that breathes new life into your old favorites. It's not just a better display, it's a time machine. And yeah, we don't talk about emulation for obvious reasons, but let's just say if someone were to hypothetically try it, they'd probably be smiling a lot. Even the 800p resolution, which on paper sounds like a limitation, ends up being one of the deck's biggest strengths. It keeps performance buttery smooth and the battery happy. Honestly, I've grown to love it. It's efficient, sharp enough, and it just works. The final piece of the puzzle is something that's easy to overlook: support. The Steam Deck OLED doesn't exist in a vacuum. It lives in a thriving ecosystem powered by Valve and one of the most passionate communities in gaming. I've lost count of how many times I've used the community layout scheme to fix a game's weird control scheme, or how many times a Proton update has fixed a bug. And by fixed, I mean deleted whatever creative feature an indie dev forgot to patch. Love you, indie devs. Valve didn't just release the deck and move on. They're constantly improving it. Just recently, they added a feature people have been begging for: the ability to keep downloads going with the screen off. And with those examples, this isn't just a static piece of hardware. It's a living platform. It's a little piece of tech real estate that appreciates over time, which is wild to say about something that runs video games. But the Steam Deck OLED isn't a 3-story mansion with a 2-acre backyard. It's more like a cozy condo with great amenities, friendly neighbors, and an HOA that actually listens. There's something oddly comforting about playing on hardware that can't run everything. The Steam Deck OLED isn't trying to be a desktop PC or a 3-floor mansion with a 2-acre backyard. It knows its limits and it thrives in them. And that limitation, that restraint, is its own kind of freedom. When you stop obsessing over what a device can't do and focus on what it can, gaming starts to look different. You stop staring at frame time graphs and start appreciating the art direction, the sound design, the writing, all the things that make a game special. You start valuing consistency over raw power because you realize fun doesn't need to be benchmarked. It's like watching an indie film after a summer full of CGI-filled blockbusters. Sure, the big budget stuff is flashy, but there's something more authentic about popping your own popcorn and enjoying a story made with a smaller budget but a bigger heart. That's what the Steam Deck OLED gives you every single time. It makes small games feel important again. When you boot up a pixel art roguelike or a cozy farming sim, or finally dive into that backlog that you've been ignoring for 3 Steam sales straight. It's not about pushing hardware to the limit. It's about reconnecting with why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. And that's the beauty of being underpowered and being that small, cozy condo in a world full of 3-floor mansions. Because with the Steam Deck OLED, less isn't just enough. It's perfect. Perfect for you. The handheld world is more exciting than it's ever been. New devices are dropping every week with mind-blowing specs, but also mind-blowing price tags. If you have to play every new release at max settings, or you genuinely enjoy wrestling with Windows 11 on a 7-inch touchscreen, you got it. You're built different. But for the rest of us, the gamers with massive backlogs, the players with 30 spare minutes between responsibilities, or the people who just want to turn something on and play, the search is over. The Steam Deck OLED is a masterclass in balance. A screen so gorgeous it'll make your Switch 2 jealous. And ergonomics designed by someone who's clearly touched a controller before. The cherry on top is Steam OS. It's so simple, it's kind of suspicious. Like, where are all the bugs at? Its true power isn't in its hardware. It's in its philosophy. It understands that the best handheld isn't the one with the best hardware. It's the one that you actually want to pick up and play. It's a mature and refined product, the kind that doesn't need to shout to prove itself. It knows that the best parts of it are what you make of it. Stop worrying about what's next. The grass isn't always greener. Sometimes it's a vibrant, perfectly calibrated HDR green right here on the screen that you already own. And yeah, that's about it.